Hello, I'm Guy Hudson, I'm a physicist, and I'm here today to talk about earth sheaths, or earthing, grounding, generally connecting ourselves to earth. We evolved walking along the ground barefoot, and it's only really since probably the 1940s or 50s that we stopped using leather-soled shoes and used plastic and rubber-soled shoes, which insulate us from the ground. We also no longer have floors which rest directly on the earth, which are connected to the earth. We've got plastic floors, or we live above the ground floor, and so we've lost this connection with the earth. And what's being found scientifically is that the connection, the electrical connection with the earth, so it's electrostatic connection with the earth really, is very, very important. And that balance of what's called charge or electrons in our body almost acts like a lubricant for all of the biochemical processes which are going on within us. And if we get overcharged or we get lack of charge, so we get electrostatic charge on us, our biology begins not to perform quite so well. And some really serious effects like thickening of the blood, which means if you don't get blood circulation properly, particularly in our capillaries, it means that all kinds of things start not working properly. Premature aging, sight problems, glandular problems, liver, kidney problems. So the effect of earthing is really quite significant. Now, there's a few different ways that you can get connected. One is stop wearing shoes and go barefoot. Not always practical, where you've got a lot of agrochemicals on various lawns, etc. It's not really recommended because they're not too good for you. But the one advantage we've got is that in our electrical systems, the safety wire, the earth wire, the top pin there in the British system, is connected to earth everywhere, and that's a safety reference 0 volts. And if you can connect to that. Now, the electronics industry, if you have a 50th of a volt charge on you and you touch an electronic component, it can blow it. So all the way through the electronics industry, there's something called ESD, or electrostatic discharge, which they seek to avoid. So everything, all the tables you work on are earthed, and also there's a whole technology of wearing wristbands and all that kind of stuff, which are connected via a wire into a standardized plug to earth. So these things are readily available and are very well tested. So you take one of these, you connect a wire, you connect the other end of the wire to a sheet. Now this looks like an ordinary cotton bed sheet, but in fact, and it feels and washes and everything else like an ordinary cotton bed sheet, except it's a tiny bit heavier. And the reason is there is a significant amount of stainless steel filament in there instead of cotton, and that stainless steel filament makes this conductive, so that with a small amount of the vapour of your coming out your pores, your perspiration, connects you electrostatically to earth. And you can work like that. You can actually even do it in your car. You can have one of these on your seat of your car, connected to your car body, and then you earth your car body with the trailing strap from that. So you can work like that as well. You can put it on your seat, or take your shoes off and do that. Also, you can buy good old-fashioned shoes with good old-fashioned leather soles, and not put rubber soles underneath that, and you will be nice and earthed. So earthing is a very, very simple thing to do. very compatible with doing lots of other things too. When I do my surveys, you do have to be careful that you're not also subject to strong electric fields coming out the wires in your wall, for the mains wires. Can actually, by earthing yourself, you can actually increase the fields that you experience. But normally, it works very well, particularly if combined with the Stetzer filters. Can you pass me that filter out? Thank you. So if you also plug these filters in as well, it cleans the mains, and therefore any fields that you do experience are low frequency ones and don't have high frequency transients in them. But anyway, basic message is the more earthed you are, the better your health is really. And there's also a book called Earthing which you can get, which I recommend too. Thank you very much. I hope that's useful.